Hello, Owls! Throughout your time in high school, you'll take several tests that measure your ability to read. And just like me getting on a scale, I might not always like the result, but it's important to know the truth. Today's video will help you make sure that your reading test score is as accurate as possible. We want to avoid a situation where your reading skills are solid, but your score looks shaky simply because you weren't familiar with basic reading test strategies. Many decisions, like your course enrollment, eligibility for half-day programs, early graduation, scholarships, or even which English class you take next year, are based on reading scores. So let's make sure your score truly reflects your skill. Strategy 1. Read like you care. Even if you don't care about the topic or the story in the passage, read and analyze it like someone who does care. I get it. You don't care about the history of Canadian basket weaving. And the story about the dog who learned to sing Italian opera? Yeah, that might leave you yawning. But that's the passage they gave you. So your best choice is to dive in with an open mind. If you read like you are interested, you'll absorb more details, ask more "I wonder why" questions, and understand both major and minor ideas faster. The questions will also make a lot more sense if you read as though it is important to you. But if you decide this is stupid and barely read it, then when they ask you stupid questions about the stupid passage, the result is predictable. Just like in life, when we approach something with a positive attitude and an open mind, things go better. So, start there. Strategy 2. Zoom in and zoom out. Be ready to zoom in or zoom out depending on the question. Some questions focus on tiny details. You'll need to zoom in on a single line or word. Others ask broad questions about a paragraph or the entire passage. You'll need to zoom out. Think of your brain like a microscope. Zoom in too close and you miss the big picture. Zoom out too far and you miss the small details. When a question mentions line numbers or specific words, zoom in. When it mentions a paragraph or passage, zoom out. If the constant zooming feels dizzying, try answering all the zoom in questions first, then circle back to the zoom out ones. Strategy 3. Verify line references. When a question refers to a line number or phrase, always go back and read a few lines before and after that section. That's where meaning lives, not in isolation. Here's an example. The author uses the term tennis ball in line 145 to suggest that the process of grading papers is A. Fuzzy and round, B. A back and forth cycle, C. A sport that requires effort, or D. Papers bouncing and rolling like a ball. If you don't check the passage, several answers might sound good, but the text says, when a teacher assigns homework for a grade, the process works like a tennis ball going back and forth between the student and the teacher. That clearly supports answer B, a back and forth cycle. Students who skip verification often fall for tempting wrong answers. Students who check the text get it right, almost every time. Strategy 4. Inference questions. To infer means to draw a logical conclusion, even if it's not directly stated. If you see people on a sidewalk wearing heavy coats, you can infer it's cold, even without a thermometer. Inference questions require you to find an answer supported by evidence, even if the passage doesn't say it word for word. Ask yourself, if the author were here, would they agree with this statement? Example passage. The woman never dreams, and this makes her intensely miserable. She believes that by not dreaming, she's unaware of things about herself that dreams would surely reveal. She doesn't have the door of dreams that opens every night to question the certainties of the day. She stays at the threshold, and the door is always closed. Question. It can reasonably be inferred that the woman most strongly desires to attain which of the following qualities from dreaming? A. Relaxation. B. Self-awareness. C. Entertainment. Or D. Self-control. The answer is B. Self-awareness. Even though the passage never says that exact word, the meaning is clear. Be careful not to pick answers that go beyond what's supported. There's no evidence she wants entertainment or relaxation, only that she wants to know herself better.
Strategy 5. Vocabulary in context. Don't assume the most common meaning of a word is the right one. Instead, replace it with your own synonym that fits the passage, and look for a matching choice. Example passage. The inhabitants of Millsbury were reluctant to support the proposed measure to use tax money for infrastructure fixes, for money appropriated for roads in the past had not seemed to bear the promised fruit. Question. As used in line 15, the word support most nearly means A. Reinforce, B. Assist, C. Approve of, or D. Provide evidence for. Answer: C. Approve of. In this context, support doesn't mean to physically reinforce or help. It means to approve of something, like saying, the voters supported the proposal. Strategy 6. Main ideas and big picture. Big picture questions ask about main ideas, author purpose, or overall tone. Read the first and last paragraphs again if you're unsure. They almost always contain clues to the main idea. Avoid answers that focus on one small detail. The main idea should cover the whole passage. Names and dates might stand out, but they're rarely the main point. Strategy 7. Development and function. Some questions ask how a paragraph contributes to the passage. When you see words like function or purpose, ask, why did the author include this paragraph? What does it add to the overall idea? Example question. The main function of the second paragraph, lines 20 to 29, is to A. Identify Armstrong's mentors, such as King Oliver. B. List early events in Armstrong's career. C. Contrast Armstrong's opinions of King Oliver and Fletcher Henderson. Or D. Describe the musical style Armstrong developed with Fletcher Henderson. Understanding the function helps you see structure, how each part builds toward the whole. Strategy 8. Use elimination wisely. Even if you're unsure of the right answer, you can usually eliminate at least 2 wrong ones. Cross out answers that are too extreme, too narrow, off topic, or not supported. Watch for words like always or never. Those are red flags unless the passage says them. Be alert for trap answers, ones that repeat words from the passage but twist the meaning. If you're down to 2, reread the relevant lines. Ask, which choice is fully supported? If one is even slightly off, eliminate it. Strategy 9. Know yourself. Finally, the most important strategy. Know yourself as a test taker. Some people read slowly and carefully. Others read fast and skim. Some understand after one read-through. Others need to reread. Take every practice test seriously. Are you running out of time? Good to know. Unsure what the question is asking? Practice that skill. The more you learn about your own testing habits, the more you can use the strategies that work best for you. That's all, folks. Thank you, and have an amazing day, Owls.